Welcome to another Mercy Moment Emery episode. Already tracking episode number 46, friends. Couldn't be more thankful, more excited for today. A new opportunity to renew perspective and take things deeper. And this one I'm titling Cultivating a Faithful Life. What are you faithfully cultivating? That's the question I have for you today, because faithfulness ushers in abundance, blessing, and a legacy. Faithfulness is the key that is critical to establishing something phenomenal. Faithfulness is the key. And in our world today, very few are faithful with anything. Faithfulness in marriage is almost an unheard of dying dinosaur nowadays, as affairs are rampant. I talked about the adventure to live that a man and man in general, we are created for, the masculine spirit, but that's been twisted. So renewing that, faithfulness is one of the greatest adventures of life. Faithfulness to one woman for all of life, till death do us part. That is the vow. And the gravity of that vow is rooted in faithfulness. Faithfulness is what we were created for, friends. Because we're created to be like our Father. Our Father is eternally faithful to His promises, to what He says He does. And the gap of our word and our actions will always result in chaos, pain, and sorrow. Especially with those that we love, but all people. Because if we are not faithful, we have no ground to stand on. Faithfulness is hard to find. King Solomon, thousands of years ago, wrote in the book of Proverbs, "A faithful man who can find?" Man, those words seem ever more true in the 21st century, with the lack of character, the lack of excellence, and the lack of faithfulness. Faithfulness is hard to find. But this is whom the Father seeks, the faithful. The faithful are what He looks for. Those are the ones He's looking for. Are you faithful? Are you faithful to your word to others? Are you faithful to your word to yourself and what you say? Will you do it? Faithfulness is the key to a long legacy. And it really is a critical essential to righteousness, living a righteous life. So receiving the favor of God is largely dependent on faithfulness. It's interesting, we all have days where it's like, forget this, I'm done. Just the other day I reached a point of breaking and I was tired, I was frustrated, and I said, Father, I've been faithful through so much. Where's the reward? And David lamented the same thing. He looked around and he saw the righteous thriving like a green leaf, he said. And he was just perplexed, and I was too just the other night, friends, and I was weary in well-doing, and I was frustrated. But just like David, it says that he went into the house of the Lord and he saw the end of those who are unfaithful, those who do whatever they want and live a life of reckless chaos. And he saw their end, and it said then his heart, it all made sense. Clarity was restored. Faithfulness is of eternal importance, friends. And I love what Darren Hardy in The Compound Effect, he talks about this very thing, about the importance of faithfulness in whatever we're doing. And he lays it out really clearly. I was really, if you want a book that's going to stimulate you in faithfulness, The Compound Effect is remarkable. Super helpful, super eye-opening book. And he talks about not seeing real results of your actions for about 24 months. So it's 2 years, 22 to 24 months. So to see the results of what you're doing now, it takes time. And living in the microwave generation, no one has time or desires that, because we're instant gratification, insta-grata. Yeah, let's do it now. Oh, I can get it now. I don't have to wait. I can get credit. I can watch porn. Like, the Insta generation has really screwed and messed up our thinking. And it leads to destruction, friends, because porn is poison. Porn is poison. Just throwing that out there. Microwave meals, microwaves kill the nutrients in our food. In our quick-paced culture, it's hard not to use a microwave, but Insta usually leads to malnutrition in every area, heart, soul, mind, and body. So making impact through faithfulness, that's the heart of this episode. And what I'm cultivating faithfully is critical, because if I am not being faithful, what I'm doing won't last. It will have no lasting effect. And we see that all over. There's many men and women, their life, maybe they've been faithful, but then they grow weary and they give up, and they make a critical error and mistake by throwing away faithfulness. That's a big one, because faithfulness is a lifetime. It's not a one day, it's not an event, it's a lifestyle. So faithfulness is critical, and I'm encouraging myself, I'm speaking to myself in this episode, because we all grow weary at points, and we all lose heart at points. But how we get back up is the critical component. Do we get back up stronger? Do we get back up with a whole new fight? Because I love how David said it. His encouragement to us today. He said, trust in the Lord in Psalm 37 and do good. So trust in Him. Trust is the root of being faithful. It's knowing and trusting the faithfulness of the King. So trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. Other translations say befriend faithfulness. This is big, friends. This is big, and this is what I look for in those closest to me, my friendships, my alliances, and my association. Is someone faithful. Because if they're not faithful, they're not going to be a good friend. This is the key to it. Being a good friend, a good husband, good father, good mom, good wife, good friend in general. So faithfulness, may we cultivate it as we seek and draw from the source. Once again, turning it back. The source of all faithfulness, my faithful Father. Do you know Him? And are you being established in Him? Because the only way to cultivate faithfulness is spending time and getting to know the eternally faithful one. Love you, friends.